We found the previous video that you can use your volume up button to take a picture, and I wanted to see, and it does. It starts a video too. Thank goodness. Okay. Hey Photos photographers, we are here talking about composition today. Composition is how your photo is set up. Is it using the rule of thirds? Is it using the golden ratio, which really is where the rule of thirds is based from? Composition, what does it look like? Follow me. We're going to be taking a little bit of a walking tour, and I've got somebody out here doing video for me so that I can be behind the still camera and they have got control of the video camera. So come on with me, let's go take a walk. Okay, so let's go around the backyard and see what we can find. It's turned cold recently, so we have some icicles. It's been precipitating, raining overnight, snowflakes, rain, all sorts of different things. So there's going to be some pretty wintry interest in the backyard. We'll see what we can find. That's the other thing, and you won't be able to pick this up in video, but as we're walking around our backyard, I'm starting to smell people starting fires in their chimneys and their fireplaces. It's, well, hopefully no fires in their chimneys, but fires in their fireplaces. It smells good when you come outside and you smell fires going. It's just, it's a different aspect. It's something else your senses pick up that is a sign of winter and is nice to smell. Ooh, let's get some pictures of these icicles here on the bottom of the car. As we look here at this picture with these icicles, you'll notice that the two longest icicles and the one on of those two longest on the right is the one most in focus. I chose it for this reason. Two of the three things that we're looking for in composition, one is positioning and the other is placement. Let's explain those a little bit. Positioning is placing that object or subject in your shot to have the leading lines lead to it and the focus in place. The support of the car is leading you as a leading line down toward the tip of that longest icicle. Number two, placement. I placed this icicle in the frame here specifically to work with the things in the yard around it so I could get it blurred out with the proper aperture, but also so that as a placement it's in the top left of the rule of thirds or the golden ratio. One thing you might find if you don't set your autofocus properly is you need to flip to a manual focus and adjust your focus ring so that you get a sharper image. How do you get a sharper image? Number one, my tip to you is don't use one eye to look at your subject. Use one eye to look through your viewfinder and place the camera viewfinder over one eye so that you can use the other eye to get a better depth of field perspective. A better view of the depth will allow one eye to see directly at the subject and the other eye seeing through the camera so that you're better able to focus. And it'll look a little bit clearer, not just one eye being able to see the subject without any distortion through a camera, but the other eye will be able to see a little bit more clearly, and you won't be confusing yourself from one direction or the other. And you'll notice as your eyes start to come together with a focus through the camera and looking at it directly, that it'll start to look sharper with both eyes, and you'll actually, in my experience with using this method, get a sharper image. Okay, let's see what else we can find in the yard. Oh, here's some frozen water drops on some leaves here, some wild scallions. That'd be interesting. And sometimes, don't be afraid, like we were talking about in other videos, to get your different perspective. Get down low if you need to. Now as we look at the frozen water drops on the leaves of this wild scallion plant, you'll see that the area most in focus of these frozen water droplets are the lower left quadrant. I perhaps tend toward the left, but if you'll notice, it also is in the most left third of the photograph, but it's also in the lower left third. So here I've taken the positioning and the placement of the composition, but also here I am taking the perspective because I got low to the ground and I'm shooting slightly upward and at the plant of these scallions to get the sharpest image I could of those frozen water droplets. So the leaves are in focus, the water droplets are in focus, and with the way that the aperture of my lens is set, it makes for a really nice blurred background with slight visual interest, but all of the subtle leading lines are leading you to that lower left segment of the photograph. And before you change your perspective or move from one place to the next, make sure and take a look at the images on your camera and use your histogram over here to see how many blacks and how much black you're getting over here, what the whites look like, and you can change your info. I wouldn't suggest working on this solely, but you can take a view of what the picture looks like on the LCD screen of your camera on the back and see if those quality amounts of white and black are actually what you're looking for to properly expose your photo.